From mid-19th century to the present time, the United States of America holds the fact that the Greenland is vital to their strategic security concerns and future governance of the Arctic. Attempts to buy the Greenland in 1867 and 1946, and now a renewed push under the presidency of Donald Trump to possess the Greenland, presents a strong argument on the central nature of the Greenland in the United States foreign policy in the Arctic region. This relentless pursuit that dates back to many centuries presents a long-standing pursuit of the territory, and the fact that the United States of America has not managed to possess the Greenland, it also presents an elusive chase as far as this territory is concerned. In this video, we take a look at what lies in this long-standing strategic calculation. Greenland is the world's largest island that is located between the North Atlantic and the Arctic Ocean. It neighbors Canada, Iceland, and the Strait of Denmark. It lies between North America and Europe, and it is an autonomous territory of Denmark. It has its own parliament and also a prime minister. In terms of governance, Greenland is in charge of its own internal affairs such as health, education, and exploration of natural resources. However, Denmark retains control over its defense, foreign affairs, and also currency. This population of 56,000 people mostly settle in the coastal regions of the Greenland, and they lay strong emphasis on indigenous culture, community life, and subsistence activities such as farming and hunting. In terms of terrain, the Greenland is basically mountainous, and it has lots of glaciers, with 80% of its land covered by an ice sheet. It has a coastline of about 44,000 kilometers, which is one of the longest in the world. And therefore, the fact that the Greenland lies between North America and Europe, it gives this area its strategic importance. This strategic importance is further fueled by the fact that the Greenland possesses rare earth minerals. For us to fully understand the strategic nature of the Greenland, we have to revisit the heartland theory by Halford Mackinder. In the heartland theory, Halford Mackinder emphasized the importance of controlling the strategic locations for any power that wants to project its rule over certain areas. In Mackinder's writings and thinking, he viewed a strategic area as an area that is accessible, an area that is endowed with natural resources, and an area that is central, from which one is able to project power. And therefore, the Greenland location, its minerals, present a perfect example of a strategic area as far as the Mackinder's heartland theory is concerned. In this video, we are going to explore 5 reasons as to why the United States of America is out to get the Greenland. We have seen that the United States of America historically has tried to possess the Greenland. In 1867, there was an attempt to purchase the Greenland. In 1946, there was a repeated attempt to purchase the Greenland. Now, under the presidency of Donald Trump, the United States of America is set to take Greenland using military power. So, what are 5 reasons that make the Greenland so attractive in as far as the US foreign policy is concerned? The first one is the strategic location of the Greenland. We started by emphasizing that the Greenland lies between North Atlantic and the Arctic Oceans, and also between North America and Europe. It is in the interest of the United States of America to project power in the entire North America region, what we call the Western Hemisphere, according to the Monroe Doctrine. And Greenland presents a spectacular opportunity for this control. Already, the United States of America is operating a Pacific space base, and this area presents early warning radar systems for ballistic missiles and satellite tracking and surveillance. And that speaks to the fact that this area's location is very vital in as far as space exploration is concerned. In the era of global warming, where most of the ice is melting, this area is increasingly becoming accessible. And accessibility means that it is going to attract the interest of major powers as far as the military exploration is concerned. And therefore, this means that the increase competition between Russia, China, and the United States of America. And therefore, the United States of America's move to possess the Greenland is an attempt to control this strategic area so that it can lock out its potential competitors from that particular region. The second one is that in trying to possess the Greenland, the United States of America is laying a broader strategy of countering the Russian influence and the Chinese influence as far as the Arctic region is concerned. Russia has already invested heavily in as far as the deployment of military weapons in this region is concerned. In the recent time, Russia has reactivated the Cold War era military bases. And this means that the US sees Russia as a state that is trying to project its power over the Arctic region. And if it doesn't move to possess the Greenland, it is going to allow Russia to enhance its own activities. On the other hand, China has already branded itself as a near Arctic state, which means that it is seeking to invest massively in the Greenland's airport with an objective of eyeing their mining sector. If China succeeds in this, it is going to be able to benefit from the immense natural resources that are in the Greenland. And the US move to possess the Greenland is an attempt to lock out the influence of Russia and China as far as this strategic location is concerned. The other reason is critical mineral and economic security. We have emphasized that in the thinking of Harthold Mackinder, a strategic area can be an area that is endowed with natural resources. When you look at the Greenland, it has the strategic minerals that are vital for military technologies and also for the world leading economies. These minerals, such as zinc, uranium, iron ore, are very critical as far as the economic growth is concerned. Besides, there is a possibility of the oil and the natural gases being found in Greenland. And this presents Greenland as a major resource that can be explored for economic growth. And therefore, the United States' quest to control and possess the Greenland is trying to position itself in as far as the benefit of these minerals is concerned, with a strategic goal of growing its economy, accessing rare earth minerals that are very vital to the emerging military technologies, and therefore become a big player as far as this field is concerned. And that will mean that trying to get access to these natural resources so that it limits its dependence on other countries, especially China. The other reason is climate change and shipping routes. We have already said that as far as the climate change is unfolding, one defining characteristic of climate change is global warming, which means that the ice is increasingly melting. And if the ice is increasingly melting, it is going to redefine the shipping routes as we know them today. And therefore, there is a possibility that the emerging shipping routes will be shorter and they will provide more access to Asia, Europe, and also the North America. And as a result of that, the US attempt to possess this Greenland is trying to position itself as a potential ruler as far as the Arctic region is concerned. It's trying to position itself as a strategic player as far as the future governance of the Arctic region is concerned. This is because it is projecting that with the change of climate and the melting of the ice and the emerging of new shipping routes, this area is going to be very critical as far as maritime regulation is concerned, and also energy and communication infrastructure. And therefore, the quest to control this area stems from these benefits that the US anticipates to attract in future once this climate change takes shape the way it is. Then there is space and missile defense. This area presents a very strategic location that is very ideal for missile early warning systems, especially its northern latitude, which is also very critical in space tracking and also satellite control. And we know that we are almost now in the 5th generation of warfare, which is space, more of space exploration and trying to control the space. And therefore, Greenland becomes very ideal in as far as space exploration is concerned, and also missile defense is also concerned. And therefore, extremely important as far as the United States homeland security and defense is concerned. The last reason is NATO and the transatlantic security. Although Greenland is not in the European Union, the fact that it is tied to Denmark, which is a NATO ally, means that this area can be potentially beneficial to the broader security and defense priorities of the NATO. And thus, the US presence can reinforce the NATO in as far as its northern flank is concerned, and prevent strategic vacuums as far as the Arctic region is concerned. And therefore, these factors make Greenland very ideal and very significant for the broader United States strategy as far as the Arctic region is concerned. It is very central to the United States security concerns. It is very vital to the United States natural resources exploration concerns. It is also very vital to the United States of America's quest to keep off and lock the Arctic region from the influence of China and the Russian Federation. And because of these reasons, the United States of America, though from the onset, has always expressed a wish to possess the Greenland, now becomes under more pressure to possess this region, which is very strategic. The world is turning to be very confrontational, and every state is trying to position itself in as far as future power dynamics are concerned. And therefore, Greenland's location, its natural resources, the climate change, all speak to the fact that they stand to benefit the United States of America in as far as its future power dynamics and power ambitions in the Arctic region are concerned. And therefore, the quest to control Greenland stems from that very fact.